Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Game Changers. This is Kierce. Welcome to the CN test server. And this is Leona, the current news PS character, rounding out the two separate sides. Now both Scissors and POS have 7 units, or 7 characters to choose from. And Leona is going to be the one that rounds it out. Leona is a LMG character with a unique ability in order to place blocks and place cover compared to quite literally everyone else. This is the first character of this kind. And yeah, let's get into it. The first thing that you will see is that Leona has a passive bar. Like Yugiri's, if you've seen the first video, I'll link that in the description, or you probably see it on the top right. But this passive bar is what you use to place your blocks down. It costs a certain amount of this passive gauge in order to place blocks down. And you'll see a little line in the middle of the bar. If the passive gauge is over 50%, Leona will get a small movement speed boost. If it's under 50%, she gains a small shield regen buff. So as you can see right now, I'm at 16 shield. No shield upgrade. If I place my blocks down, so I believe you can have around 10 or 15 of these at any given time, and they last permanently. Now I am under 50%. You can see she has shield regen. Above 50%, she gets a little bit of movement speed. As you can see here, the blocks are placed down. They act as, well, blocks. They have 200 HP. They can be destroyed by you or the enemy, and you can place them almost everywhere. So there is no limit to what you can do with this character in terms of creativity. Let's talk about the ability upgrades. I guess the first thing before we talk about abilities is her gun. Her gun is an LMG, very similar to Audrey's. The big difference is this thing has little to no recoil. Its recoil is kind of insane, as in there's no recoil at all, and if you get the recoil upgrade, it becomes a laser. It becomes an unironic laser. This gun, I believe, has been complained by the CN folk that its damage is lackluster, so keep an eye out for that. Although I currently don't see too much of a problem with it right now. It might be the body shot damage, but who knows. But anyway, let's get towards her ability upgrades and such like that. So the two upgrades that you see here on the top right are plus 50 HP for a block. So instead of 200 HP per block, it's 250, and 25% reduction to passive gauge expenditure when you're placing blocks. So instead of around 6 blocks, you can place up to 8 at a single given time. And these passive upgrades is simply plus 3 movement speed when you're above the 50% gauge, and plus 50% shield regen when you're under it. Let's talk about her awakenings, because her awakenings is what allows this character to be extremely creative and extremely what's the word? Well, other than creative, but you get the idea. Intuitive, creative, that type of stuff. This character just makes all your creativity and imagination run wild, as the blocks can do a lot of stuff. You can already think about what to do with these blocks. You're playing Minecraft at this point. You can go ahead and bridge upwards and basically have a large vantage point. Obviously, they could try to shoot this thing, but it doesn't fall because remember, think of this like Minecraft. There you go. They're kind of like that. But understanding that, you might think, oh, well, maybe I could place this on walls. You can't. You can't place these on walls. That is, unless you have your awakening. So if I got this awakening 1, which is 2 yellow, you can now place the blocks on walls and ceilings, which actually makes your imagination run wild, because now you can start doing stuff like this, where you start going upwards over and over again. And this is where the gameplay of this character actually starts, because now you can have weird vantage points, you can have stuff like that makes this character very creative. Now you might be thinking, oh well, why not place an Audrey turret on that thing and basically be invincible? Here's the thing, me and Bree tested that in one of my VODs on my Twitch channel. You can go check out that VOD. You cannot object turret on these things, nor do I think you can actually place a lot of stuff. You can ink the blocks, by the way. So if you have a Madeline on the enemy team, they are able to ink the blocks, or if you ink nated the blocks, then you're gonna get inked. It's basically just to note that you can't really place stuff on here. The only realistic thing that you can do is use these as vantage points. Now, Awakening 2 and 3 are both very interesting, although Awakening 3 is a bit weak. Awakening 2 is the better one of the two right now, at least from what I've seen so far. When you have Awakening 2, what Awakening 2 does is now, whenever you place 2 blocks connected to each other, 2 or more, their HP will combine. And you have to go through basically 400 HP at that point in order to kill that entire little structure. So if you start spamming these blocks down, it will combine this to 800 HP. You can keep combining it over and over again as long as you can. It should be around 800, even though it's at 425 here. Don't think of it too hard. But yeah, combined HP, and Awakening 3 is basically another ability where you could change this. If you see it at the ability bar, there is a right click function, and now it is a extra ability. What this ability does is that it's a very small little supportive knockup. So let's say your team is entering a site, let's say your team is getting rushed, and you want to disrupt someone as they're shooting you. Go ahead and press this button. They got knocked up and turned into paper. It's a very, very small thing. It might work out really well. In testing so far, it's not too crazy, but it can do pretty well, at least from what I think of it so far. Let's talk about Leona's ult. Leona's ult is this game's version of, PUS's version of Riichi ult, in a sense. So let me get some blocks down real quick. The first thing that you'll notice... Okay, let me change it back first. Let me change it back to blocks. There you go. Very first thing that you'll notice when I cast ult is that she will replenish her entire gauge, and the blocks will be transparent. The blocks are now transparent. All PUS members and all defense can shoot through these blocks, but attackers, they will have to actually kill these blocks in order to reach you. You can also stand inside the blocks. Attackers can also stand inside the block. When you're inside here, by the way, and if attackers are inside here, they cannot shoot you. They're doing damage to the block instead of you. So you can use this block's HP as essentially a shield. It's kind of crazy. And these will last the entire round, by the way. So you can just straight up use these as shields whenever you want for the rest of the round. You can keep doing this real quick. Let me just show you. Let me just place a lot of blocks down. Then place a lot of blocks down, use my ult. Let's showcase again. Any blocks that you place during this ult timer are going to turn into transparent blocks. And yeah, you can create these giant mega structures of like a crap ton of blocks for attackers to have to push through or shoot through in order to actually get to you. Well, all the while that you're probably shooting at them with a bunch of freebie bullets. The one thing that you should note when looking at these blocks is nades, and nades will hit every individual block here, so it will do a lot more damage than it normally would. Just to note that. So nades are a good answer to these blocks, as well as even normal blocks even. You probably do that. But yeah, your creativity can do really well. The very first thing that I thought of when using blocks like this is to make a little pillar pre-start a round, and you now have your own freebie, very, very good little anchor point where you can fight from. And if you're getting pushed, just use the ring around the rosy technique, all that type of stuff. This character is great. And yeah, that's all with this character so far. Don't really think about this third ability right here. This is a whole another thing that that is not included in the standard game mode right now. They're currently working on. It's called the Super String Bomb Plant, which gives every single character a second ability. I'll be making a video of that very soon, as I've already showcased it a lot on both my Twitch channel and on the main Discord buttload. So you can go ahead and look over there if you wanted to. But yeah, that's Leona. This is how she is. She's really cool, really interesting character. You can get into spots where you normally shouldn't be able to with this character, and I'm very excited to see how she will play in the actual game, in an actual competitive setting. Anyway, this is Kierce signing out. I'll see you next time. Next video is going to be about Galatea, as I am the Galatea one trick, and I'll see you then. All right, bye.